Item 8.
Item 8, proclamation recognizing the retirement of Elizabeth J. Olson. Daryl Glenn, President, Board of County Commissioners.
Well, please, Chuck, would you like to bring her forward? And I'm going to actually take a drink. When I was looking at this, this is very impressive as far as everything that you've done. No, not that type of drink. My colleagues, I want to move the adoption of the following proclamation recognizing the retirement of Elizabeth J. Olson. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, regretfully acknowledges the retirement of Elizabeth J. Olson from the office of the Clerk and Recorder. And whereas Mrs. Olson has served the citizens of El Paso County since April 16, 1996, holding the positions of Transaction Processor 1, Transaction Processor 2, Senior Transaction Processor, Transaction Coordinator, Election Coordinator, Election Support Coordinator, Assistant Election Manager, and Chief Election Officer. And whereas she has provided services to citizens under 5 different county clerks during 21 years with El Paso County, serving hundreds of thousands of citizens while working in the elections department, and her contributions have consistently reflected an exceptional commitment to excellence and efficient service. And whereas Mrs. Olson has successfully and efficiently implemented multiple changes that were required with the passing of House Bill 1303, which moved Colorado from polling place election day voting to an all-mail ballot state with same-day registration. And whereas Mrs. Olson has built an extensive knowledge of state statutes and county policies and procedures and is now acknowledged statewide as a subject matter expert on the administration of elections while providing exceptional leadership to her department. And Liz was honored as Clerk and Recorder Leader of the Year in 2016. And whereas she has successfully implemented numerous processes and services improvements that have received national, statewide, and local awards, including the National Association of Secretaries Medallion Award presented by the Colorado Secretary of State in 2012 in recognition of El Paso County Election Department staff for their dedication to voters by working late into the night and assuring that securing counting of ballots occurred during the Waldo Canyon fire. The 2015 Election County Innovation Award presented by the El Paso County Board of Commissioners in recognition of enhancements to the election process developed for the 2015 coordinated election. The 2016 Achievement Award presented by the National Association of Counties in recognition of the program Innovation of Election Administration. The 2017 Independence Award presented by the Election Center, and the 2017 Clergy Award presented by the U.S. Election Assistance Commission for Excellence in Elections Administration in recognition of the El Paso County Elections Department work improving accessibility for persons with disabilities. And whereas she has developed positive and collaborative relationships with El Paso County and across the state with government officials, local municipalities, community partners, and engaged citizens. And whereas Mrs. Olson has consistently provided the highest degree of loyal and dedicated service and has been a valuable asset to the success of the Clerk and Recorder's office. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, hereby proclaim its gratitude for a job well done and commends Elizabeth J. Olson for her 21 years of outstanding service and dedication to El Paso County Clerk and Recorder's Office. Done this 30th day of January 2018, Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Daryl Glenn, President, Mark Waller, President Pro Tem, Stan Vanderwerth, Logenios Gonzalez, and Peggy Littleton, members, attested to by Chuck Berman, County Clerk and Recorder. That deserves a mic drop.
Regretfully, I will second the motion for purposes of discussion.
All right. Wow, that's all I can say.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Did you ever realize you did all those things in your career? Mr. President, County Commissioners, Secretary of State Williams, and we have Bob Ballack, Clerk and Recorder, if you want to come down, Pat Kelly, I know you want to share and extend your remarks. But, you know, wow, Liz, you've got quite the legacy, and you leave us in a better place than many years ago. Your reputation as an election expert and innovative manager is well known. You've been the go-to person in the state of Colorado for election knowledge. I can go to Liz and ask her a question, and she can either cite it verbatim or find it in a matter of moments, whether it's election law or election rule. You know, under her election tutelage, a number of great awards. She's nationally known for the excellence in election administration. She's beyond compare. You know, she's managed excellent elections. About elections, you just don't want to be above the fold in the newspaper, right? And she's managed to do that. You know, and she shepherded her election team through new election equipment and the first ever risk limiting audit. Liz, thank you for your many years of service to the citizens of El Paso County and the state and the nation, and your great work. You know, while the pay in retirement is not quite as good, the hours in retirement as election manager are definitely better. And you may be trading in one boss who hired you for another boss that you married, though I understand from Bob it's really you're the boss, right? So Liz, thank you very much for your service. You'll be greatly missed, but we're very, very happy and proud for you.
All right. Who's next? I know we have a bunch of shy people out here.
Folks, I come before you. My name is Wayne Williams. I have several hats on today. And let me tell you about the beginning of those hats. More than 20 years ago, I was elected as the chairman of one of the two political parties in El Paso County. And so I had the opportunity to deal with Liz in that capacity. So as a constituent, I served on the canvass board. So I was able to observe firsthand her conduct of elections. And this is back on the old punch card days in El Paso County. And let me just draw the contrast, because in El Paso, there were set standards for what counted as a vote and what didn't. And so the debacle that you saw in Florida a few years later never could have occurred in El Paso County, because there were standards and they were followed, and it didn't matter what the results were. I then worked with her as a county commissioner, as liaison to the Clerk and Recorder, and had the opportunity to work with her in the office of Clerk and Recorder when I served in that capacity for 4 years. Liz is fantastic. She takes the task and does it, and you never have to worry. And elections are very different than a lot of other things where you get a second chance or you get the opportunity to make it better, because election day occurs and it's all got to work just right. Yeah. And under Liz, it did here in El Paso County. When I became Secretary of State, I realized just how valuable a treasurer we had here. And my staff sometimes got annoyed with me, because when they come to me and with this new idea or this concept, my frequent question is, well, what does Liz say? And because they know that she is the foremost expert in the state. And that was true even before I became Secretary of State. And past secretaries, they would check with Liz to find out how that would actually work, because she's an honest broker. And that's what you have to have as an elections director. Mm-hmm. And El Paso County and Colorado have been blessed to have her service. We have been so fortunate to know that we have that confidence in the integrity of the elections process, because that is what our democratic republic is ultimately based on. Liz has done a fantastic job, and it's not always easy, because sometimes elections and the work for them take place after hours and on weekends. And she's always been there. Whether there have been challenges in snow or other things, she's made the drive down the mountain innumerable times to serve the people of this county. And so I am here to say thank you very much, Liz, for your service.
Fantastic. Anyone else?
I know.
There's one coming forward.
Mr. Kelly.
Step back for Mr. Kelly.
Morning, Mr. President, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words. She's nervous.
As you know, I was county attorney for a few years before I became county clerk and recorder, and I had a reputation for practical jokes. One story I have to share with you is that on one election morning when we had polling places, I made a telephone call and disguised my voice. She answered the phone. I told her I was an election worker at a certain school. Things weren't going well. It was locked up, and I was going home. She said, "Wait a minute," handed the phone to Marguerite Duncan, who's also here, and Ellie Mitchell is also here as one of the election managers. Gave my spiel to Marguerite. There was a pause, and she said, "Mr. Kelly, if you call here again trying to trick us, you're going to be in a lot of trouble." But in the background, I heard Liz's voice express an expletive. It had to do with my heritage in some way. The rest of the day, she would not talk to me. She would only shake her head. And if I were in your position now, as you know, I retired as a district court judge, I would entertain an objection to her retirement. But I really don't want to hear that expletive again. So, as Secretary of State just said, Liz was among the best and is the best, in our opinion. She was cool as a cucumber in everything that she ever tackled. It was great to see her do so many things for this county. And I certainly wish her a very successful and healthy retirement, because it is a lot of fun to be retired.
So,
Fantastic. Anyone else?
Mr. Balak. Yeah. So how do you get 4 generations of clerk and recorder?
Well, I'm Bob Balink, former clerk and recorder, and first thing I was going to do is say that Liz is probably the best election manager we've ever had in El Paso County, and then Ellie and Marguerite showed up, so I can't say that. But she's among the best, right up there with Ellie and Marguerite. When Liz got elevated to the position of manager of elections in El Paso County, I immediately told, I don't know who put her in that position, but was it me? Yeah, one of the most brilliant things I ever did, right? I told her, "Please call me if you need anything." She never called.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Ellie Mitchell, and I was head of the election department when we had, you probably don't even remember, the machines that went clunk. So after we did that, then we went to the punch card machine. I had the pleasure of hiring Liz when she came in for an interview, and I thought, you know, she has a sparkle in her eye. She's going to do a good job. Well, after she was there for a while, I had to talk to her and tell her, we don't take 2 hours lunch. We have to be on time in the morning, and the breaks are 15 minutes and not a half hour. After we got that all straightened out, it was great. One of the jobs I gave her was to hire all the election judges. In the county, we divided, and one girl did Democrats and one did Republicans. Now, that's a job with hiring probably 400 little old ladies to come to the polls. And it's quite a job, because either one stubbed their toe or one couldn't make it, the grandkids were sick, but she just took it all in stride and did a wonderful job. So all kidding aside, she was one of the best employees that we had. And I congratulate you, Liz. You're going to love retirement.
I'm Marguerite Duncan, and I was a manager, and Liz worked under me for many years, and actually she should have been manager a long time before she ever was. But because she is very smart, she was very cool, she never screamed, she never hollered, and she just did her job very, very well. I can't tell you all the jokes about her because I think I might embarrass her. But anyway, they should have hired her a long time ago as managers. All I can say is El Paso County and the state is going to be very sad without Liz, that they can't call and ask her what to do and how to do it, because she is the backbone of elections. Liz, I wish you the best, and you should have retired a long time ago, but the county needed you. So anyway, congratulations.
Anyone else? Oh,
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Deb Walker, Executive Director of Citizens Project. I come today on behalf of Citizens Project and the Pikes Peak Equality Coalition, which has representatives from the League of Women Voters, the Sierra Club, Colorado Common Cause, and many other organizations who are devoted to democracy. We have had such a wonderful working relationship with Liz, and we are grateful for the collaboration. And she has truly been such a wonderful asset in making sure that we have a fair and good election process in this community. So we're grateful and happy retirement.
great. Thank you very much. And I'm going to ask the speakers to make sure that before they leave, if they could sign the book just for our official record. So thank you. Anybody else? All right, ma'am, it's your floor.
Wow. I feel very honored to have all these amazing people here today. You know, feel very fortunate today to be able to retire from the county at this stage in my life. I've worked really hard. I'm proud of what I've accomplished, but I absolutely understand that if it weren't for all of the amazing people in my life, both personally and professionally, that I wouldn't be here today. And so I want to spend just a second or two to thank a few people. First and foremost, I want to thank my family, my noisy little granddaughter that's up there, and my beautiful Aubrey. My two other grandkids are in school, so they weren't able to be here today, but my daughter Sheila is here, my son Tommy is here, and my husband Paul. I very often put my work before my personal life. And I felt like that's what the job required. And I don't have any regrets of that, but I do want to tell my family how much I appreciate their support. And hopefully their understanding of that over the years. I worked with some amazing people. My elections team, who's behind me here, they're an awesome group of people. They are going to continue to do great things for this county, and they are up for the challenge, whatever comes their way. So I know they're going to be awesome. And I certainly do look forward to watching their achievements from afar over the next few years. Ellie and Marguerite, they were amazing leaders. I enjoyed thoroughly working with both of them, and I learned so much. And I think I learned my calmness from them. They showed me what it took to be an election manager, and hopefully I made them proud. Bob Balink, as he mentioned, he's the one that promoted me to election manager, so I will forever be indebted to Bob for that. I appreciate that, Bob, and I appreciate your friendship. And Secretary Williams, Wayne, I know you're a busy guy. Really appreciate your time here today. I feel very honored. I appreciate everything that Wayne did for me as Clerk and Recorder. He was a great leader in the office. He's a great leader at the Secretary of State's office, and I appreciate your friendship, Wayne. And Pat Kelly, I can't believe Pat Kelly's here. That is so amazing to me. He's a wonderful man, just the kindest, most gentle person to ever work for, and I appreciate that about him. And he still sends a note to me on presidential election days via email, just say he's thinking about us, because he knows how hard we all work. So I truly value all of the working relationships that I've had over the years, and I feel very honored to be here today.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we will stand up. Well, I'll bring it back up here for some closing comments, and then we will approve this, and then we'll go and stand in recess and take some photos. So, anybody want to kick this off? Commissioner Gonzalez.
Well, wanted to thank you very much. You know, having gone through a military retirement, these are very special moments and things that you're going to remember this, and your friends are going to remember this, and your family. So it's just a great moment for you, and I appreciate all the hard work. You know, I've only been in the office 1 year, but you know, about 18 months ago, we spent a little extra time during that primary season, and so I did get to see firsthand the professionalism and the knowledge, because I was asking a lot of questions about stuff I didn't understand at the time, and it was great having somebody like you that understood everything and helped us along. So I greatly appreciate all you've done for the county, and you know, congratulations, and you know, enjoy your retirement.
Well said. Oh, Commissioner Waller.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I apologize for 1303. I was part of that debacle in the State House when that came through. Wish we could have done more to prevent you from having that opportunity to excel. It was a tough piece of legislation for us. But I want to echo what Commissioner Gonzalez said. You know, having open, fair, and honest elections is kind of the cornerstone of our form of government in the United States. And it's important to do that and do it well every time. And I think his election, as he alluded to, is actually absolutely testament to how well we do that in El Paso County. To do a recount and have how many votes change? One. That's it. Just one vote change shows just how good our process is and how well that is done. And I think that that's absolutely a testament to all you've done. Also, I think this is one of those times where, you know, not only we know you as a colleague, but also as a customer as well. You know, I think all of us have probably been in there asking for maps and lists and data and all that stuff before. And I can tell you, as I was doing that, I felt like I was always treated incredibly professionally and fairly as I was in there. And I know that that's a testament to what's going on at the top. So thanks for all your dedicated service. We're certainly going to miss you.
Commissioner Vanderwerth.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I think I see Aubrey jumping up and down. I think she's really looking forward to spending more time with you. Hello, Aubrey. How are you? There we go. You know, when I ran for election and also afterwards, you know, I took a tour of what was going on there. And I think this is a great thing that, Liz, that you and your team have put together so that citizens can see the activity firsthand with their own eyes, because that helps to instill a lot of confidence. I think that's just really, really fantastic. So I left there feeling absolutely confident that we have an outstanding elections team in El Paso County. There's just essentially no way for it to fail in any substantive way. And I'll echo my colleagues' comments. You know, free and fair elections are the core of our Constitution. And we are an example to the world, and every place in the United States plays a role in that. And when the job is done right, it is a shining beacon to everywhere else. You know, it's the core of what a representative democratic republic is. In fact, if you look that up on Wikipedia, as I did a few minutes ago, that's the very first thing it says. Free, fair, and open elections is the defining quality and character of what a representative democratic republic is. And it's just outstanding that that's what we do in El Paso County, so that the outcome is always right and the citizens get to choose. So Liz, not that the board itself is doing this, but for me personally, I'm declaring you a defender of the Constitution. Thank you very much for the great work that you did, and enjoy your retirement. Hi, Aubrey. See you later. All right, thanks.
Commissioner Littleton.
Thank you. Well, Liz, I think it's definitely a testament to the job that you have done as elections manager and throughout your entire career with El Paso County and the Clerk and Recorder's office to have 4 previous and currently sitting Clerk and Recorders here. I think that just speaks volumes of you. I'm pretty sure that you're going to go into consulting now, and the pay and the hours will be better. You'll get to choose that and have more grandma time and more time to maybe travel and be a speaker and a trainer throughout the United States. I can't see you just stopping where you are. You're too young to do that, and you've got too much skill and talent yet to give, and you're just a wonderful light when you walk into a room. I'll never forget, back in 2012 in the Waldo Canyon fire, when we were all still there and, handing out masks, and we were all wearing masks, and the staff that was there, and literally till the very end when the fire marshals came through and said, seriously, like, you've got to vacate. You must vacate now. You've got to evacuate. We can't have you in here any longer. But we were able to get that first push out and make sure that the ballots were secure and make sure that they were, outside, and everything was going to go as it was supposed to go. And that is with transparency, with equity, with integrity, and there was going to be no gap standing in there, so that everybody could have confidence that the elections were going to be done the right way. Having been through 3 elections myself as a State Board of Education and 2 commissioner races, you guys have always been, all of the Clerk and Recorders and Liz and your team especially, have always been very helpful in providing data and information that we need to make sure that we can contact constituents and ensure that elections are going to go well and be run properly. I do notice that you're walking out just as we're ramping up for a new kind of election this year, where we're going to have people that are unaffiliated voting, and it's going to be a challenge. So Angela, I hope that you're up to the task. I know Liz has probably done her best. So, well, I would just have to say that I concur and agree with Mr. Kelly. I'm reticent, and I should probably protest this retirement. But we know that you'll be around. We know that that's the kind of person you are. You'll come help and stand in the gap when necessary. But gosh, I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for your service.
Well, and I too, I just look at this, and on behalf of the board, it's just truly an honor to present this proclamation, and just reading through it and all the different positions that you've had and the impact that you've had across not only this county, but the state and even the nation. It's humbling. I just want to personally thank you, and I'm looking at your staff. I don't know if they're happy or sad right now, but they realize just the hole that's going to be left in the office, and it's just truly an honor. And I can't think of another position that's under more scrutiny. Well, maybe the HOA Architectural Control Committee chair probably has more, but you have done a masterful job, and I just want to personally thank you, and enjoy your retirement. Go ziplining or something, all right? Okay.
Can I, sorry, I just
Go
got
ahead.
a text message from our Deputy State Treasurer. He wanted to pass on his well wishes as well. Ryan says he enjoyed working with you tremendously and is going to miss you a lot.
Fantastic. So I'm going to officially call the roll, and then we're going to stand in recess and take a photo with you. Commissioner Littleton.
With gratitude, aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
Commissioner Vanderwerth?
Aye.
Commissioner Waller?
Aye.
And the president votes aye. Unfortunately, this passes unanimously. Thank you so much. We will stand in recess.